It's time for spelling analysis. The first word today is throat. My throat feels scratchy. Throat. Go ahead and say throat. Let's sound it out. Throat. O, two-letter O that you may not use at the end of English words. T. Go ahead and write throat. Sound it out as you write it so you get all of the phonograms. Excellent. Now help me to write it. Throat. O, T. And how will we mark it? Well, underline the th and the O. Let's sound it out. O, T, throat. Excellent. The next word is address. What is your address? I'll need to write it on the envelope. Go ahead and say address. How many syllables in address? 2. We will say to spell address. What will we say to spell? Address. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is add. Add. The second syllable is dress. D-R-S. Go ahead and write address. Excellent. Good sounding it out. Now help me to write it. The first syllable is add. Add. The second syllable is dress. D-R-S. And what do you notice here? We doubled the S before a single vowel that's saying its short sound. Let's sound it out. A-D-D-R-S. Address. Great. The next word is scarlet. The flowers are bright scarlet. Scarlet. Go ahead and say scarlet. Excellent. We will say to spell, how many syllables in scarlet? 2. We will say to spell scarlet. What will we say to spell? Scarlet. Let's sound it out. Scar. Sk. Use a k. S. R. The second syllable is let. L-et. Go ahead and write scarlet. Good. Good. Now help me to write it. Scar. Sk. R. The second syllable is let. L-et. And help me to mark it. We'll underline the R. Let's read it. Scarlet. Scarlet. You can go ahead and look up the color scarlet if you need to, but it is a color that's kind of pinkish purple. The next word is breathless. After running, I felt breathless. Go ahead and say breathless. How many syllables in breathless? 2. We will say to spell breathless. What will we say to spell? Breathless. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is breath. B-R-E. Use an E-A. The second syllable is less. L-S. Breathless. Go ahead. Sound it out as you write it. You've got this. Excellent. Help me to write it. The first syllable is breath. B-R-E. The second syllable is less. L-S. How will we mark it? Well, underline the E. What sound of E-A do you hear? That's right, you hear the second. We'll underline the th. Notice we doubled the S before a single short vowel. We often double F-L or S before a single short or broad vowel at the end of a word. Let's sound it out. B-R-E-T-L-S. Breathless. And what's the root here? Breath. A breath. And breathless means without breath. The next word is restless. Sometimes I feel restless and like I just need to move. Restless. Go ahead and say restless. All right. How many syllables? 2. We will say to spell restless. What will we say to spell? Restless. All right, let's sound it out. The first syllable is rest. R-S-T. The second syllable is less. L-S. You're right, you've got it. Go ahead and write restless. Good, good. Now help me to write it. The first syllable is rest. R-S-T. The second syllable is less. O-S. Let's read it. R-S-T. O-S. Restless. So what's the root here? The root is rest, meaning to take a rest or to take a break. And restless means without rest. The next word is ostrich. The ostrich ran away. Ostrich. Go ahead and say ostrich. How many syllables in ostrich? 2. We will say to spell ostrich. What will we say to spell? Ostrich. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is os. Os. The second syllable is trich. T-r-ich. Go ahead and write ostrich. Sounding it out as you write it. Good. Help me to write it. The first syllable is os. Os. The second syllable is trich. T-r-ich. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the ch. Let's read it. Ostrich. Ostrich. Great. The next word is front. The front of the house is very sunny. Front. Go ahead and say front. Let's sound it out. Front. Oh, we will say to spell front. That's important. Front. Go ahead and say that. Front. Let's sound it out. F-r-a-n-t. Front. Go ahead and say or spell front. We're exaggerating that sound. Excellent. Now help me write it. F-r-a-n-t. And let's read it. F-r-a-n-t. Front. Now, why did the O say O may say before a W, T-H, M-N, or V. So here it is next to an N, and it's saying that sound. Excellent. The next word is doe. The doe ran across the lawn with her fawns. Doe. Go ahead and say doe. Let's sound it out. Doe. D-O. This is O-U. Go ahead and write doe. Good. Help me to write it. D-O. And we'll underline the O. Let's sound it out. D-O. Doe. The next word is spinach. I think I'll wash the spinach for my salad. Spinach. Go ahead and say spinach. How many syllables in spinach? 2. We will say to spell spin-ach. What will we say to spell? Spin-ach. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is spin. S-p-in. The second syllable is ach. Ach. Go ahead and write spin-ach. Sounding it out as you write it. Good. Help me to write it. The first syllable is spin. S-p-in. The second syllable is ach. Ach. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the ch. Let's read it. Spinach. Spinach. And once again, you hear a schwa or a lazy vowel in that second syllable. The next word is raccoon. The raccoon tries to get into my bird feeder at night. Raccoon. Go ahead and say raccoon. How many syllables in raccoon? 2. We will say to spell rack-coon. What will we say to spell? Rack-coon. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is rack. R-a-k. This is a k. The second syllable is coon. K. This is a k. Oo, oo, n. Rack-coon. Go ahead, sound it out as you write it. Rack-coon. Good. Good sounding it out. Now, help me to write it. First syllable is rack. R-a-k. The second syllable is coon. K-oo-n. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the oo. Let's sound it out. R-A-C-C-U-N. Raccoon. The next word is student. You are a student. Go ahead and say student. How many syllables in student? 2. We will say to spell stu-dent. What will we say to spell? Stu-dent. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is stu. S-t-u. This is an a-u-u-uh. The second syllable is dent. D-e-n-t. Go ahead and write stu-dent. Good. Good sounding it out. Now help me to write it. The first syllable is stew. S-t-u. The second syllable is dent. D-e-n-t. Did you use the correct u? Now, of a-u-u-uh, what sound do you hear in student? You're right, you hear the second sound, u. And remember, u has 2 long sounds, u and u. So here, it's saying its second long sound, student. And why doesn't it say student? U. You're right, that would be really hard to say. So rather than saying student and tripping over it, we drop that yes sound and it becomes student. Excellent. And why did it say it's long sound? A, E, O, U usually say their long sounds at the end of the syllable. Let's read it. St-u-d-e-n-t. Student. The next word is teacher. I am a teacher. Go ahead and say teacher. How many syllables in teacher? 2. We will say to spell teacher. What will we say to spell? Teacher. The first syllable is T, T-E. This is an E-A. The second syllable is chur, ch-er, the er of her. Go ahead and write teacher. Sound it out as you write it. Excellent. Now help me to write it. The first syllable is T, T-E. The second syllable is chur, ch-er. How will we mark it? We'll underline the E. Did you use the correct form of E? Check that. Then we'll underline the ch in the er. Let's read it. T-e-ch-er. Teacher. Excellent. The next word is odd. That is, I'd like an odd number of coins. Odd. Go ahead and say odd. Let's sound it out. A-d-d. Did you get that? A-d-d. Go ahead and write odd. Good. Help me to write it. Odd. A-d-d. And notice we doubled the D. We often double F, L, or S after a single short. Here's a short or broad vowel at the end of the word. Occasionally, other letters are also doubled. Here, we're doubling a D. Let's sound it out. A-d-d. Odd. The next word is charming. He was very charming. Go ahead and say charming. How many syllables in charming? 2. We will say to spell charm-ing. What will we say to spell? Charm-ing. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is charm. Ch-ar-m. The second syllable is ing. I-ng. Go ahead and spell charm-ing. Excellent. Help me to write it. Charming. Ch-ar-m. The second syllable is ing. I-ng. How do we mark it? We'll underline the ch and the r and the ng. Let's read it. Ch-ar-m-ing. Charming. All right, the last word is kindergarten. The kindergarten class is going to go out to the playground. Kindergarten. How many syllables in kindergarten? Let's do that again. Four. Yep, this is a 4-syllable word. So we will say to spell kindergarten. Do you got it? What will we say to spell? Kindergarten. Let's try it. The first syllable is kin. K. This is a tall k. N. The second syllable is der. Year of her. The third syllable is gar. R. The fourth syllable is ten. N. Kindergarten. Go ahead and try to write it. And be sure you're sounding it out. That will help you a lot as you write this word. Kindergarten. Good. Help me to write it. The first syllable is kin. K, in. The second syllable is der. The third syllable is gar. R. The fourth syllable is ten. All right, how do we mark it? Well, underline the and the R. How did you do? Did you get it? Did you get kindergarten? Excellent. Do you see how big words are also just combinations of the phonograms, and they also use the spelling rules? They're often very logical. Let's read it. Kindergarten. And what happens if you're struggling to read a big word like this? Try to break it into syllables and sound out each syllable at a time. Kin, kinder, kindergar. Do you see that? Kindergarten. So that's my tip for you to read big words. Great work today.
Combining the science of reading with the joy of learning. Learn more at essentials.logicoфenglish.com.